Traveling with a baby or toddler has its own headaches, and the last thing that you need to deal with is being stressed out about what to bring and what to leave at home. So I'm gonna give you all of that information in this video. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Missy. I'm a certified pediatric sleep consultant and I own Slumber and Bloom. I just wanna be the person to tell you that traveling with a baby or toddler does not need to be stressful. You should take that stress out of the equation so that you can just have fun and enjoy your time away from home with your family. So first things first, where's your baby gonna sleep when you're away from home? Some hotels or Airbnbs, or maybe if you're staying at a family or friend's house, they might have a mini crib, a travel crib, a little cot, or pack and play, or whatever you want to call it. They may have all of those things for you, but if they don't, then I would recommend bringing either a pack and play for a baby who is still in a crib, or the Slumber Tot if your baby is in a bed. Now the Slumber Tot is going to be your toddler blow-up air mattress, and your pack and play is your standard travel crib. Both of these things will fit a slumber pod over it, so your child will have an immediate blackout situation. Now if your child has not slept in a pack and play in a very long time, or in a Slumber Tot, or whatever you're gonna be using for travel, have them practice using it and sleeping in it at home so that it is familiar to them. And whatever crib sheet or whatever sheet you're using while they're practicing at home, bring that sheet with you to use while you're traveling. Don't wash it. You want your baby's scent to be on it so that they're kind of, it's almost like how cats will like pee everywhere to mark their territory. Well, if your baby has slept on a bed sheet and they have their scent on it, then they're gonna be more accepting of it when they are away from home. Now I already touched on bringing a slumber pod for an immediate blackout solution, but if you cannot bring a slumber pod, if you don't have one, you can't afford one, you don't wanna spend the money to use it just once, look for someone local to you that you can rent one from. Hello, if you live near me, or you can do something else to have a blackout situation in the room that your baby will be sleeping in. Now, the one hack that I do want to tell you about, I kind of wish I had like a video of myself doing this because it's amazing, but I don't. I'm not gonna waste the tin foil just to show it to you. I'm sorry, I love you, but like, I'm just not. If you take a spray bottle of water and you spray the glass of the window in the room that your baby is sleeping in, and you stick tin foil to the water, it is like the cheapest blackout solution. Either that or using painter's tape and black garbage bags around the perimeter of the window. I've done that before on a family vacation with my in-laws, and that was like the first thing that I did was black out the kids' bedrooms. I knew that they needed to go down for naps soon, so as soon as we got there, I blacked out the rooms, and my family members were looking at me like I was absolutely insane. That was before I was a pediatric sleep consultant. You would guess that like even nowadays, I'm like even more strict about like where my kids are sleeping when we're on vacation, because now they're older and that just like comes with a whole different topic. Anyways, you want to make sure that your baby has the same kind of white noise that they have at home. So generally, I just recommend bringing what you already use at home. Now, if it's too big or too annoying and cumbersome to wrap it all up and bring it in your suitcase, or maybe you just don't have enough room, you can always get a travel white noise machine. Or if you must, you can use an app on your phone. I don't love this solution for white noise, but I suppose if you're only going to be gone for a couple nights and you don't have any other alternative, then it can be okay. Maybe you don't need your phone once your kid is going to bed, although like who's not scrolling Instagram and all the things when your kid is sleeping? So I don't love that solution, but some families, like, that's just what they do, and that is fine. The really good thing about white noise, not only is it going to drown out all the sounds around them, but it should replicate the sound that they have at home, so they will have a familiar sound and a familiar space that they're sleeping. The next thing that you want to make sure that you bring is whatever sleep sack or swaddle or whatever stage your kid is in, whatever they are sleeping in at home, you want to make sure that you bring that with you. Again, you don't have to wash it. You don't, like, I'm just trying to save you guys laundry time, okay? But no, really, like, you don't need to wash it because you want your baby's scent on something that you're going to be putting on them instead of taking something out of a brand new package and having them wear that because you're on vacation, you gotta get all these new things. Well, you don't need to get a new thing for that. Am I the only one though who's like, I'm going on vacation, I need to get new clothes and new bathing suit, new shoes, new like beach bags and towels and like all the things? Like, you don't have to do that for your baby, okay? If you wanna splurge on yourself, I highly recommend it. Don't buy your baby new things because you want everything to be familiar. So especially if you have a toddler who has a lovey, a blankie, a pillow, stuffed animal, like whatever it might be, and especially if you have a toddler, have them pick, hey, Susie, what stuffed animal do you want to bring on vacation with you? Or which one of your stuffed animal friends do you want to bring? Who's going to sleep with you on vacation? Make sure that you're really talking about it with them, especially when you have a toddler who may be a little bit resistant to change, and letting them know that they're gonna be able to pick out what they want to bring with them to sleep with and cuddle up with at night. If you're using a baby monitor at home and you're feeling stressed out about not having a baby monitor while you're on vacation, if you really wanna have something monitoring your child while you are away from home, you can definitely get a compact little monitor situation. You could bring what you have from home if you don't have something that's like mounted to a wall. Like that stuff didn't exist when I was a kid. I mean, maybe it did, but it was like 10 years ago and I never needed any of that, so I didn't have it. I actually, even when we were traveling, I never put a monitor on my kids because I always knew that I would hear them if they needed me. But I understand that people want to be able to monitor their kid while they're sleeping. So some options, you could just get an audio monitor and set that up. You could go on like Facebook Marketplace or do people still use Craigslist? I only use Facebook Marketplace, but you could go on Facebook Marketplace, find something really affordable and just have that be like your travel monitor so that when you're out of town that you still have something to keep an eye on your baby. Now for some not sleep related things, you want to bring a stroller that is collapsible and has a reclining seat. Something that I really loved doing when I had my babies, oh my gosh, I will never ever forget this. Joshua was about 8 months old and Timmy and Kaya were 2 and 3. We were on vacation in Montauk, New York on Long Island, and Joshua would not sleep. Kaya and Timmy were asleep in the hotel room, and so I took our stroller, I reclined Joshua all the way back, and I just walked laps around the outside of our hotel until the kid fell asleep, and then I sat down and just rocked it back and forth. So yes, it is a little bit sleep related still because the stroller is a great way for your kid to get sleep on the go, but if you have one that reclines back, you can always just strap them in, recline them back, and tuck a blanket around them so that you know you're not gonna lose the blanket as you're walking, because that's definitely something that can happen if your baby is just like sitting up and then the blanket just kind of falls out. You can wrap it around their body, so you want to make sure that they're strapped in before you wrap the blanket around them, but that is definitely a great idea to get your baby sleeping, and make sure it has a big hood that you can pop closed and open so you can close it when you want them to sleep. There are some canopies that you can put over a car seat. I would just be cautious of what you're going to use for that situation, because you want to make sure that you're blocking out some of the light, but you also want to make sure that your kid is getting enough air circulation and not in an unsafe situation. Definitely look into the safety of whatever kind of solution you're gonna have there. I will say though that having a stroller on vacation, like we never use like those cheap little chintzy umbrella strollers because they just aren't practical when you have a big family. Your kids might be like they're gonna be on completely different schedules. So while my older kids were ready to be out and about, maybe we're going to the zoo or something like that. I remember we went to, what was it, the Pittsburgh Zoo, and it was amazing. My youngest doesn't remember it because he slept through the whole thing, but that's fine because we brought our big 3-wheel stroller that he just reclined back in and was strolled around like a king. That boy, he is a king. Something that I always forgot about when my kids were younger was to bring a portable high chair. Now, there's definitely some products out there that make it very easy and compact to bring such high chair type of thing. I will always kick myself in the butt for not bringing something like this because you never know what other places are going to have, and they're not always going to be accommodating for young families. If you're looking up like a hotel or an Airbnb and it says that it accommodates families, you need to make sure it's accommodating young families or bring your own stuff. But a compact high chair is definitely worth bringing. Another quick thing that you want to make sure that you have is a portable changing pad. I feel like I have a lot of stories around this topic. There was one time where I was at a diner with Timmy when he was like probably 8 months old. Now he's 10 years old, so the story is quite old, but I will never forget it. He had a blowout. I had to change his diaper. I was there with my husband, my brother, and one of my brother's friends, and they all just looked at me like, not it. And I was like, yeah, fine, whatever, I'll go change him. And I asked the waitress, I'm like, where's your bathroom? And she's like, oh, around like the corner to the right. And I'm like, you have a changing table, right? And she was like, no. And I was like, what am I supposed to change my kid on? And she was like, I don't know, the bathroom floor. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I was so irritated that there was nobody sitting in the booth across from us. So I changed my baby's diaper on the booth in the restaurant, and it was a blowout. And I was like, if you actually expect me to change my baby's diaper on a bathroom floor, you're out of your mind. Long story short, get a portable changing table, or like not changing table, a changing mat, so that you could just fold it up. I did get one after that, and I did bring it like almost everywhere with me, but by the time you have your third kid, it's a little less traumatic when you have to change your kid anywhere and everywhere. A couple more things that I wanted to touch on is having a first aid kit and medicine. We all know that if you have a child, you know this. Your child will get sick and will get hurt when you least expect it. And the best thing that you can do is just be prepared. Always. I mean, this goes for traveling down the street, down the state, down the country, wherever you're going. You should always have a first aid kit in the back of your car. Make sure that the medicine that you're bringing is age appropriate, dose appropriate, and not expired. Make sure that whatever you're bringing is appropriate for your child, but I would just make sure that you have it. Make sure you have a thermometer. I would bring some nail clippers. You never know when those little talons are gonna need a little clipping. And especially if you have a younger baby who might still be like in that face scratching. Remember, oh, the sweet babies, and they gotta wear the mittens and they scratch their face. Oh my gosh. I really miss having a little itty bitty baby, but not enough to have another itty bitty baby. While we're on the topic of having stuff in your car, you should definitely stock up on snacks, food, all those extras that you probably are just gonna wanna reach behind the seat and give some to your kid while you are traveling. So this obviously goes for toddlers and preschoolers, older kids. They're always gonna be hungry, and anytime the kids like start getting really antsy, that to me says snack time if it's not time to take a break. So I do like to break up travel days with a break every 2 to 3 hours. If you can, get up and walk around. Even if you're on an airplane, get up and walk around up and down the aisle on the flight. Go check out the airplane bathroom. Just like make it fun. But you definitely want to make sure that you have some snacks, some drinks, not too many drinks because you don't want to encourage your kid to have to go pee 25,000 times, but definitely bring in the snacks. Another thing you want to have packed in your car at all times is extra clothes. Whether it's in your car or your suitcase or your carry-on, definitely in your carry-on, make sure that you have enough clothes to last you like the next 24 hours. That includes diapers, wipes, creams, all those things that you need to have in a diaper bag. Make sure you have them in your carry-on, and extra clothes, because extra clothes for you and extra clothes for your kid, because chances are if they have a blowout and you're on an airplane, it's probably gonna get on you, so you're probably gonna wanna change. So make sure you have those things accessible. So definitely, like, you already know that they're on your list to bring them, but make sure they are accessible is key. This is one that I think a lot of diaper bags are actually made like backpacks nowadays, but if you have a diaper bag that is just an over the shoulder, don't do this to yourself, okay? If you have to walk through an airport carrying a luggage and a diaper bag and a baby, your hands are gonna be so full. So like, don't do it. Get a backpack so that the weight can be evenly distributed on your shoulders and you're like free to hold your suitcase, and your baby in the other arm. And you have a lot less just like going on, okay? So just get the backpack, ditch the diaper bag, and put everything in there. It's so much easier. I don't know why diaper bags were ever designed as shoulder bags. Like, why? Is it just me, or is it a pain in the butt to be like, oh, I got my backpack or got my diaper bag on my shoulder? Like, no, it's just, like, it's so stupid. The last thing that I'm gonna tell you to bring is toys, okay? So whether you have a baby, a toddler, a preschooler, a school-age kid, come prepared with toys and activities and all the things that will entertain your child while you are traveling. So you can definitely bring these things in the car. You can bring them on a plane. You can bring them on a train. You can bring them on a boat. I feel like I was like getting into like a rhythm there, and I was gonna like, bring it on the plane, bring it on the boat, bring it in the car, bring it on the train. Oh yeah. You can get any of those toys or items that I talked about in today's video in the description box down below. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you, enjoy your travels, do not stress. And if you're traveling soon, make sure you check out my video all about sleep tips while traveling with your baby. And you can grab my travel and sleep guide in the description box down below, and keep blooming. Mwah!